Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and I'm here with my co-host, Marissa. Say hi.
Hi.
So we
Well,
decided to switch things up a little bit today.
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, we decided to switch things up a little bit because why not? I mean, we're actually halfway through the month now. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody
Yeah.
has had a wonderful week. This week hasn't been too bad yet. It's been a very decent week. My sister had her final band concert for the school year, and she did very well. So hats off to her. I just went to that, and it was amazing. And I have some amazing news. I just got my driver's permit.
Wow.
Wow!
Just
I should have
adds in
mentioned
sound effect.
this. I should have mentioned this in the Shoot the Shit episode we had just recently done. I have been studying for my driver's permit for the last month and a half now. And I finally took my
Mm.
exam online and I aced it. I got 100. There were 50 questions, and bada bing, bada boom, I got my permit. I'm just waiting for the actual ID card to come in. Takes 2 weeks. I have my temporary permit for right now, just the paper copy. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I'm hitting the road soon.
Watch out, everybody.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, coming through.
Anyways, anywho, thank you all for joining tonight's episode. We really hope you enjoy. So, as I mentioned previously on Shoot the Shit, we have barely really covered anything with Van Halen since we did the pilgrimage back at the end of the summer of 2023. We have yet to do any breakdowns of any albums until today. That's right. Today we are breaking down debut album Van Halen 1 by Van Halen, which came out back in '78. Tigger, what are you doing? Get out of there. She's like, trying to distract me over here. Go relax. Um, so this album, as I mentioned, came out back in 1978. It really kickstarted their career as a group, and they definitely paved the way for the rest of their career. I could tell you that, even though they had like three singers.
Yeah, it was David, Sammy, and then Gary.
Gary. So this obviously is David's first album with the group, and some consider it to be the best album they've ever done. But that's debatable, honestly. That's debatable. But there are 11 tracks to go through. Dystro has the notes for this episode. Just a spoiler alert, we will be doing another breakdown episode this Sunday, and I have the notes for that one, but stay tuned to find out which one it will be.
Mhm.
So, 11 tracks to get through. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I went ahead and did. I bookmarked the notes on my tablet, so I didn't have to put it to paper.
Ooh, bro's multitasking.
But I did the. But if you are not familiar with this, we go through each song track by track. We talk about the meanings and all that stuff, and then we rank it from a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Whatever. Um, This one was actually kind of easy to remember because I remember most of the tracks. Shocker.
Mm.
Uh, there was maybe two that I wasn't really sure about, so I had to like go through it again to listen to them. And then when I was listening to them, I did my rankings while I was listening.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm in the same boat. I had three tracks I had to go back and listen to. One being the closing track, which that's rare. Usually I remember the closing track, but not on this one. I had to go back and re-listen to it, and I literally blew out my eardrums because it scared the fuck out of me.
I'm on fire.
Okay.
um, my throat is on fire right now a little bit. I don't have I have a little bit of a sore throat, but it's not really making my voice hoarse or anything, so I should be fine. So if you hear me like sniffing and stuff, I'm just
Allergies.
fine. Yeah, it's just allergies and all that stuff, and I almost burnt my damn throat drinking some coffee the other day, so that was fun. Uh, but let's get on with the opening track, "Running with the Devil."
Oh man, fucking classic. Like, can you imagine like being alive in '78? in discovering Van Halen and you literally put on the first track of the album and it's Running with the Devil. Like, can you imagine that being your first Van Halen song? Like, that is literally the best way to start off a new group.
Running with the devil.
I don't,
But
you know what sucks? I don't hear the song on the radio anymore. Like, when I think of Van Halen on the radio, they always play like Jump or
Panama.
Panama or sometimes they'll play Jamie's Crying if you get lucky. But like nowadays, I hardly hear Running with the Devil, which sucks because I really like that song.
Sometimes when I hear Van Halen on the radio, it's what is it? It's a intruder going into Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
It's like I'm like, huh, that's weird. That's interesting. I'm like, okay. I hear like a lot of like like You Really Got Me. I hear Eruption a lot. I hear Jamie's Crying a lot too. Sometimes I hear Ice Cream Man, which is
Lucky.
rare. Which is rare. Um, but with that being said, it is a good opener. I will say that.
It's kick ass.
And it plus it's like it's you have to start big on your first debut album, sort of thing.
And that's what they did.
Yeah, they went out like guns blazing. So I am using song means shout out. So there was like two different, I guess, ideologies that somebody had. From two different people, but so this is what Dave had said in an interview in '78. I guess this is like during, I guess, the publicity for Van Halen one. I guess he said that he wrote this song about his early morning about his early morning workouts, mainly jogging that he did with Satan. He and Satan meet at the whiskey. The devil was trying to see behind Eddie's back to figure out what he had, how he did the tapping, and Dave got pissed that he was leaning on the stage and had him removed until after the set. I'm guessing this is like somebody's dream or something, but I'm guessing this is Dave's dream or something. But anyway, after the set, he and Dave were hitting on the same blonde and discovered that they had similar tastes, and they actually hit off his friend. So there you have it, jogging with Satan. But I don't think that's really what it's probably is. But somebody said like it could be like like some rock and roll acts during the day, like like ACDC with Highway to Hell. Like it could be like the music of the devil and all that stuff.
Basically, just being reckless.
Yeah, it's like living the rock and roll lifestyle from day to day. No real place to call home. No love of your life. Running from town to town at a pace that would kill mere mortals, sort of thing. So it's like you're basically running on autopilot at that point, like
Living the dream.
living a dream. Um, but it's like like I think like one of the lyrics is like like simple life is not so simple, and like that's a good true lyric right there. Like simple life is not so simple, hardly
Fuck
at
no.
all. Um, but with that being said, I give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, like
Yeah, you
you gotta
can't go.
give
You
it
cannot go lower than a 10. Like you have to give it a
no.
10. It's just
If
so
you
freaking
if
good.
you go lower than 10, you are stupid. No.
Damn.
um. So going on to track number 2, Eruption,
Ah, yes, the first instrumental we ever got introduced to by Van Halen.
which if anybody doesn't know Eruption, you gotta like listen to it. Like it is really cool. It is really good, and it goes like right into really You Really Got Me too.
Yeah, it's a transition moment, and I
Yeah.
really love Eruption. Like when I think of Eddie, I think of Eruption. That's like iconic, like most iconic instrumental they've ever done. And Van Halen's done quite a few instrumentals. This one being one of them. Um, you've got what was the one you said that goes into "Oh Pretty Woman"?
Intruder.
Intruder. There's also one on Van Halen 2, which is Spanish Fly. You also have 316 on the Fuck album.
Hmm.
There's quite a few that I'm probably also forgetting to mention. But honestly, Van Halen's instrumentals are heavily slept on. They're really good. They're really, really good. And this one probably has to be the best one we've heard.
And plus, it doesn't. like help the fact that Eddie Van Halen is the fucking awesome guitarist that he is at that point.
Yeah.
Um, it was like a lot of people that was like commenting on the song is that like greatest guitar solo ever.
Uh
like
huh.
like
Amen.
duh. There was this one person that was like went on a huge like spiel and was saying saying like fuck you to all like the Eddie haters, being like like dear Eddie haters, you suck.
Amen.
It was like like you could compare him to like Kurt Cobain and Chuck Berry and Jimi Hendrix at that point too. Like they're like all great guitarists of their time period. And then at the end of the statement it says, "If this doesn't convince you, Eddie Hater, then you suck. There, take that." I love that like little nice little bow. um, Even though it is instrumental, um, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I mean, like
Fuck yeah.
it is a really good guitar solo, and I don't know if we saw the live version, but I have. I don't know if you have or
I
not.
have not, and I actually would like to see it. So,
The live version, it's so cool just to hear like the audience like react to his guitar playing and stuff. And plus, he's like just hanging out with Dave, fucking Dave, Alex, and
Michael.
Michael, and he's smoking a cigarette. And he just starts playing Eruption and all this stuff, and he goes on for like 7 8 minutes.
God
This is like
damn.
this is during like a live like tour, I guess. This is like when they're doing I don't know if it's during the promotion of the album or it's like just right after it or something. But yeah, it goes on like a long time.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's to be
Um
expected.
and plus like like Eddie's like he's like on the Mount Rushmore of like guitarists of all time.
Absolutely.
Because
On
it
God, for real.
because it's like if he's not up there, it's like there's something wrong with you, bro. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Um, but I do rest my case on that. I rest my case. Um, Going into track number three, you really got me.
This is
Hmm.
a cover song because I know there is
Yes.
an original.
I do like the transition from Eruption into You Really Got Me though.
Hold on, I'm gonna quiz myself, trying to think of who did the original. I know this too because I've heard the original in the past in my childhood on an old radio station we used to listen to. If
Mhm.
I remember correctly, I'm thinking it's the Kinks.
I think
Because
it's
I think,
yes, yes it is.
yeah,
Yes,
I
it
was
is.
gonna say it is the Kinks.
Yes, it is the Kings. Yes, you are correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. um, so it's like another really great song, and it has like a really like rocking sound to it. Especially like with David's like vocals and all that stuff. It like kind of like brings the whole thing together. Um, because it's like I mean like the first iteration of Van Halen with David, Eddie, Alex, and Michael, it's like they were all four peas in a pod, and they like very like they were like just like even though they were joking around a lot, they were very serious when it comes to like Showtime sort of thing. Um, and plus like I guess I don't know if like they got permission from the Kings to do it, or they just were just like fuck it, we're just gonna do it just to like piss people off, I guess, or something.
Honestly,
But
it sounds better than the Kinks.
yeah, well, because that's what I'm saying. Like some cover songs from other bands sound better than the original sometimes. Sometimes.
This is one of those cases.
So it's like I guess it's a better rendition than the original. And I can say that wholeheartedly because I have never heard the Kinks version.
I have. It's not bad. It's good. It's just Van Halen does it better. They rock it.
Right. Um I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Me too. I mean, no doubt about that.
All right, going good so far. Okay. Track number four, Ain't Talking About Love.
This one, okay, so this one I do remember. Obviously, I remember it too much. I overplayed it quite a bit.
Hmm.
Um, way back when I really got into like my 70s and 80s kind of.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know if I want to say phase because I'm still in it to this day.
You're still in it,
um,
yeah.
I played this a lot. Like this was like one of those songs I heard a lot on the radio growing up too, to the point where I
Hmm.
got sick of it. But I'm not knocking the song. The value of the song is still very high for me. I still absolutely love this song. It's just it's not my
Hmm.
go-to anymore.
I hear it sometimes on the radio, but then I hear it sometimes at work. But it's not overplayed to the point where it's like, okay, like, and talking about love, like, like you know the fucking lyrics like every time. Um, but I can't remember. Like, there's this one comment. It was like, this song is about sex.
Well,
Almost
I mean,
self-explanatory. It's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, like, come on. But somebody said it could be very well about a drug addiction too. Like, addiction is disease. So when he says like, I heard the news, baby, all about your disease. You may have all you want, but I have something you need. So it's like it reminds me of the friends that he probably had lost to drugs, maybe, and he had been
maybe,
there with them. So it's like there's a lot of like different meanings and stuff, which I kind of find that like cool. Um, there was this one comment that was funny. This is one of my drunken karaoke songs I sing to the ladies. I'm like,
oh my
wow.
goodness.
Um, but it's like I love that this one is like found that songfacts.com says like it's like it's about casual sex, something David Lee Roth was known for. He had the roadies give out backstage passes to beautiful women at Van Halen concerts.
Oh, well, this sounds like another group we know.
Yep.
Yep.
Moving on. um, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't know about
I
you.
gave it a 9.5. I'm gonna knock it down just a hair because I've heard it so much.
Right.
It's like it doesn't have like the same exact value as the first three songs we just talked about, but I still
Hmm.
love the song. It's still good.
Yeah. All right. On to track number 5.
This is where things start to get a little tricky. With I'm the One. This is one of the tracks I had to go back and listen to.
I remember this one because it was on Guitar Hero.
Oh no.
I think it was a Guitar Hero. I know it was Guitar Hero Van Halen when it first came out, but I can't remember if there was like another Guitar Hero that came out on before that one. I think. Um, I think I heard it played for Jason Paradise when he played it.
Oh no.
The oh no.
Shout out to
Uh,
him though. He's cool as hell.
yeah. But it's like it's very groovy. It's like towards the end a little bit. Um, which I kind of liked a little bit more. Um, I don't really remember this song as much as I do like the other
Yeah,
four.
I'm in the same boat.
Um, it was like I'm the one you love. I
Showsman.
don't.
He's like David Lee Roth has like that show host, showboat
Yeah,
kind
like
of like
yeah.
persona.
Uh-huh. I'm not even. I'm shocked that he's not even like a game show host or something. Like at this point, like he
Like that
could
one
be.
music video.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah. Um, it's like it, I, it's like David. Like he just oozes charisma, and he is a showman. He is really literally a showman. You can just tell by his performances. Like, come on. Like, if you look at Jump in Panama, like it's self-explanatory. Um, hmm. I think I had to go through back on this one as well a little bit, but I gave it a 9 out of 10. This
I
one.
gave it an 8.5 just because I don't remember it as much, though I did go back and listen to it. I figure
Right.
if I heard it more, it'd be at least a 9, but for right now, I'm going to give it an 8.5 to be nice.
Right. Not to be harsh.
On to track number 6 with Jamie's Crying. Oh man, that's one of my favorites, honestly.
Jamie's crying. Mm-mm.
Like every time it comes on the radio, I just become so dramatic. Like I have like the over exaggerated like facial expressions when I'm trying to like sing to this song.
It just turns it up. It's like shh. um, but it's one of those like songs that is like very very synonymous now. Um, in maybe in more like recent years, I guess too. Um, so I'm looking at like the comments and stuff. It's like she wanted a relationship and he wanted sex. She said no to sex and he said goodbye. She's torn because she really wants to be with him in a relationship, but he's only after sex. If she calls him, she knows that all she can ever hope to have, so she doesn't. Pretty simple.
What a dick.
Damn. um, it's like you can probably take this in like so many different ways. Some of the songs too. Um, it's like she saw the look in his eyes and she knew better. He wanted her tonight, and it was now or never. It's like, it's like you could take that so many different ways,
Yep, you
but
can.
but it's self-explanatory. It's basically about sex. Like
Yep.
it's basically about that. Um, plus this was around the time like in the era where it's like like some it was like love, sex, and rock and roll. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll at that time period too.
That
So
was the motto.
um that being said, I gave it a 10 out of 10, even though I have heard it a lot
Me
sometimes,
too. I love this song. 10 out of 10 for me too.
but I don't hear it like being overplayed a lot either.
Right.
So it's like every time I hear it, it's like, whoa, whoa, Janie's crying. And also the fucking guitar riff, like, wham, wham. All right,
Ah.
on to track number 7, Atomic Punk.
This is another one that I did not remember off the top of my head
Yeah, this
either.
one was the one that I had to go back on.
Yeah,
So,
this is another one I had to go back on. And I actually wrote it down as I did it. I wrote down my ranking for that. I don't think I was too on board with the song based off of my ranking, but that doesn't mean I don't hate the song.
right.
Honestly, there's really no bad song on this album. It's just a matter of, do you remember these songs? Are these like a go-to song for you? Like they're not bad at all. I'm not saying they are. It's just like some of these songs have to be in the mood to hear.
Right. I was actually the exact same boat as you. I don't remember this one is like much. Like, so it's like originally I had an 8, but then I think like I went back again to like listen to it. But I gave it like a little bit of a higher ranking. But somebody I put in the comments was like, maybe Bill Squire kind of like sounding a little bit.
Oh, that's interesting to hear because I love me some Billy Squire, man. Oh my goodness.
Um, it's like now that I think about it, it's like yeah, I kind of like hinted at it a little bit. That's funny. Um, it was like somebody said it could be a concept based on a steampunk theme, like a concept song based on it, like a steampunk theme. Um, but then it was like saying, this was one of the first media references made to Philip K. Dick's "Do Androids Dream of Sheep?" This one actually predates the movie Blade Runner by a good 4 years too. And in 1980, that's when Blade Runner came out. So it
Huh.
kind of so that's a little movie knowledge right there for you. Um, hmm. And also, this was a kind of interesting little tidbit. This was written after they had acquired a record deal. This was a spin in the face of all the rival bands that they had encountered on the LA club scene because they were finally ruling the streets at night. The verses depict the club scenes and possibly even the whole rock scene of the mid to late 80s or 70s, sorry, 80s, as a dark underworld, but they were finally on top when they gained a record deal. I think I remember something when they were trying to look for a record deal. A lot of the other record labels were laughing at them, like saying like, "Ha, fucking they'll not make it." Well, then they signed with Warner Brothers Records, like I think it's 74, 75 or something. And the next year, like with this album, it was like, oh shit, like like we were wrong and they were right, sort of thing. Um, I know I went on a little spiel there, but sorry. Um, that being said, I gave it an 8.5. I'm
I
not.
gave it an 8.
I'm trying not to be too harsh with it. Um, Once again, I'm sorry for that little spiel, but I wanted to like say that little information that
You're
I
good.
had in my head before before it would phase away into oblivion. Oblivion. I gave it an 8.5. I'm not really, like I said, you have to be in the mood for it, so that's what I'm gonna have to say about
Yeah, I
that.
gave it an 8. I'm in the same boat. I don't remember it very well, unfortunately. But yeah, it's kind of one of those songs you're gonna have to be in the mood for.
Yeah, I would also say with like this next one too. Feel your love tonight.
Whoa, what do you mean with this next one? Is this where we're actually gonna start to differ?
Like
I said I can't wait to feel your love tonight.
tonight.
Woo.
I think this one for me, it's like I just hear it a lot and it's overplayed for me a little bit. But it didn't differ my ranking. It's just it gets super overplayed for me a little bit.
Man, I wish I heard it more. God damn.
Um but uh with that being said, somebody was like, this song means he's pretty damn horned up to get on with her.
I mean, come on, that's
Pretty,
like 90% of the Van Halen songs now.
yeah, that's true. Uh, it's like a lot of these, like majority of the Van Halen songs have to do with like sex stuff and
It's
drugs.
like another ACDC situation.
Yeah, but you don't have two brothers being, writing the
Well,
whole
I
damn
mean,
thing. I
true.
mean, but it's like I think it's mostly like David and Eddie, right?
I don't know
Majority.
about that. I think it was Eddie and Alex who kind of took turns writing together because they're the ones that started the group. They're the ones that run the group.
I can also I think I'm probably wrong, but it's like I think maybe David had some say in some of the lyrics too, but I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm not 100% sure.
Um, but what did you give it?
I gave it a 10 because I fucking love this song and I wish I heard it more.
So I gave it a 8.5, but only because I hear it a lot.
That's okay.
It gets overplayed for me a little bit.
Still a good song though.
It is still a good song, yes. It is still a very damn good song. Okay, going down to nitty gritty. Number 9, Little Dreamer.
Ooh, so this one I actually stumbled upon way before we did the Van Halen pilgrimage. I found it a couple years ago during the pandemic, and I fell in love with this song. It's completely different from what I'm used to with Van Halen, especially that opening riff.
Yeah. Uh, Excuse me. I'm fucking yawning over here. It's not
Me
even 10
too.
o'clock
Me
yet.
too. I'm
It's not even
tired.
10 o'clock yet. Um, so what was your like? I guess your overall feelings when you first heard this song during the pandemic. Let's start with that.
I fell in love with it. I thought it was different from what I was used to hearing with Van Halen. It was
Mhm.
just really good. I really enjoyed it. It's just like it just sparked something in me. I don't know what it was. It just like it was really good. For a long time I had it on like replay or whatever, repeat on my playlist. Like I was just constantly listening to it. It was so good.
Right. Um, Somebody had said like this song doesn't get much recognition, but it is one of Van Halen's best. It is about when you are young, you dare to dream without constraints.
Pretty much nailed it on the head.
But then somebody said like it sums up people's consistency with having no faith in each other. Everyone is going somewhere. How full? of how full you live your life getting there, being there and leaving there. That's all that matters. Like,
Interesting.
but then somebody was like, it reminds me when I was a kid and had all these aspirations to do this and that, and the time and friends were all gone by. Definitely going somewhere, and it's cool because the ride there is pretty interesting. And then they put at the end, it's like, hooray for being 20 years old, I guess. um, it's like I said, you could take some of these songs like so many different ways, but it's like I kind of agree with you have these aspirations. It's like you want to do this, and that, and that, and that, but then it's like all those like dreams could be like it's like the infamous like Shia LaBeouf things like don't let your dreams become dreams, like that thing. Um, yes, I knew it. I'm doing Shia LaBeouf logic. Yes, um, but it is still a kick-ass song. I will say that. I'm glad
9.5.
I give it a 9. So
I gave it 9.5 just because it's not as good as the others that we've given a 10 out of 10 for, but it's
right,
still up there for me. It's still got to be one of my favorites of all time.
yeah. Okay.
On to the last two tracks of this album. Track 10, Ice Cream Man. Oh man, this is a fan favorite.
I'm the ice cream man.
Stop
Stop
it when
when
I'm
I'm
passing
passing
by.
by.
Man, I love that song, and unfortunately, it's not about ice cream.
No, no, it is not.
Thanks, David Lee Roth.
What a guy. It's like they have that little like ha ha songs every now and then too in their albums. Like with Diver Down, they have like no happy trail to
At the very
you.
fucking end, yeah. And then you have this one with Ice Cream Man.
Yes. So apparently it's I think somebody said this is a cover. I'm guessing. Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's an innuendo for sex. So
Yep. Thanks, David.
all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy.
Oh my god. Can you imagine fucking going around in an ice cream truck just having that as your motto?
All my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy.
That ought to get you some sales. Oh
Hey, you're
no.
David Lee Roth. It's like, yep, I am.
Fuck. I'll take your entire stock.
Give me 99 fudge bars. Like, I only have like 6. It's like, I'll take them all then.
I have $3.
they're like they're fucking 10 cents per bar. Man, those were the days.
That's a
Um,
solid 10.
yeah, I gave it a 10. Like, there's no beating that
Best fucking track on the album, not gonna lie.
compared to like the other like 4 that were at the top too. Or for me.
Closing
Okay.
track, number 11 with On Fire. Unfortunately, I had to go back and listen to this one. Honestly, it's not bad. I think they ended it on a good note.
Yes. And could we talk about the bass during the chorus too?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Fucking Michael Anthony. Okay,
Like,
hiccups.
I will say this too. It's like Michael Anthony is really underrated,
He is. He's one of the best.
and he is slept on. Same with Jonathan from Billy Talent too. By the way,
Yeah.
they are both massively talented and underrated, and it's making me sick.
I know. Like when I heard On Fire again for the second time, I really liked it. I think it's like a good way to get like fired up for the end of the album. It leaves
Okay.
you wanting more from Van
Yeah.
Halen. It leaves you wanting more.
Yeah. Um, Somebody said like the bass during the chorus is awesome. Point taken. Yes. I think the song is about the joy and obsession of a rock star's success from his perspective. Van Halen feel like they're on top of the world or on fire. No pun intended. Their dream of making it has come true, and they are displaying it through music as a means of connecting with the fans. This is what
Huh.
one person gets out of this song, though.
Okay.
Because like this album was, I think, the most highest album that they had at that point until Van Halen 2, I believe. Um, I don't know if you really want to fact check that or not, but I'm thinking Van Halen 1 was like it sold like really really well, and they were really, no pun intended, on fire at that point. Because they were like, making killer music, living like rock and roll stars and all that stuff, and like, having like I said, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Um, hmm, I give it a 9.5. I don't hear it a lot, but when I do hear it, it's like I'm like I don't skip it. I don't
I
really don't
gave it
skip
a 9.
it. Okay, fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
that wraps up the track by track breakdown. Now we
Yes,
have to rank this album as a whole overall, and I already did my math, so I'm ready to go whenever you are.
I've already done my math.
So I gave mine a 95 right on the dot. 95.0. This album, my lord, this album is so freaking good. I have this album on disc, by the way. It's one of the only few Van Halen albums I have. I only have two. This is one of them. And my god, this album is good from start to finish. Even the tracks I don't remember, even when I did listen to them the second time, they were good. Um, it's a good way to get their career off and
Off the
running.
road. Yeah.
And they literally didn't stop there. They kept going and they didn't look back.
Yeah. I did the exact same thing. I gave it a 95 as well.
Sweet.
Originally I had a 94.5, but then when I went back to listen to Atomic Punk, I bumped it up. So it was now like an even 95. So, man, what an album.
What an album, honestly. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet with Van
Oh
Halen.
no.
I am treating you guys to another dose of Van Halen. With this Sunday's episode, we are breaking down the following album, Van Halen 2. We have 10 tracks to get through on this one. I have all the meanings for you guys. That'll be this Sunday. So you guys are getting a double dose of Van Halen back to back. We hope you join us that night. I am very excited because Van Halen 2, oh my god. Like, I hardly knew any of the tracks before we went into this album together. And now it's like almost every track, like, I really wish I could hear them all over again for the first time.
Yeah, Van Halen 2 is like really ahead of its time too. Um, it came out like what, 2 years?
Literally the following year it came out.
Yeah. Um, and plus it's like what an album to like produce like the year after your first debut album too.
Basically, what a sophomore album to
Yeah,
call
like a
that.
sophomore album. Yeah.
This would be considered their
Um,
sophomore album. And honestly, I know I just said Van Halen 1 is a fan favorite, but I have heard a lot of people tell me Van Halen 2 is their favorite. In the ACDC Discord server that I'm in, everyone's like, oh, Van Halen 2 is my favorite, like, hands down. And I'm like, that's really a bold statement, but I don't blame you whatsoever because that album is fucking good.
everybody's entitled to their own opinions.
So that'll be this Sunday. We hope you join us. By the way, we also hope you've enjoyed the breakdown of Van Halen 1. If you have listened to this album already, let us know what your favorite track is down in the comments or on social media. You also have tonight's song of the night, Dystro, so go ahead and give us what you got.
All right, so I'm gonna stick with Van Halen. What a shocker. Um, I'm going to go with. Okay, I'm gonna go with Running with the Devil.
Ooh, opening track.
I don't know if they have a music video or not, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm
They
okay. I was
do.
about to say. Okay, I was about to say. I thought they do.
We've seen it before.
Yep, that's right. Like I'm blaming myself because it's like it's just the fucking MS like fucking with my
It's
brain.
all good. It's all good. I don't mind. So, Running with the Devil by Van Halen from debut album. If you guys would like to take a listen to it, I will go ahead and put the link in the top right hand corner. At the very end of the episode, it'll pop up. There is a music video, like we just mentioned. Go on ahead and watch it. I mean, come on. Classic Van Halen. You cannot go wrong with it.
Mm-mm. Nope.
So, if you stuck around to the very end, we greatly appreciate your support. Go on ahead, follow us on social media by clicking on that link in the description below, which will take you to Linktree. We have Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter. So go on ahead, follow us there to keep up to date with the show. Also, Dystro's YouTube channel is there as well, where he posts gaming content and memes weekly. What are you at for subs right now? Because we're trying to get you to 1,400 by June 1st.
1,361 right now.
Okay, we'll get you there. I
We're
have
chug we're
confidence.
chugging we're chugging right along a little bit.
We're entering the tunnel, but we're gonna get through it. We got this.
It's a long ass fucking tunnel.
We got this. So, when me and Dystro aren't recording, we usually play video games and we send each other memes and whatever we find funny. Sometimes we'll post it just to share it with you guys. So if you guys are up for some laughs or some funny moments from our gaming clips, go on ahead and check his stuff out. You will not be disappointed. Go subscribe to him, please. Once again, take a listen to tonight's song of the night, Running with the Devil by Van Halen. That's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you guys this Sunday for another dose of Van Halen. Peace!
Peace.